Help us to listen attentively to one another and with open hearts and minds.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, we have a forum. Right now, we will entertain any citizens' comments. If there's anybody that would like to speak on behalf of any of the agenda items, please step forward. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Please use the microphone.
Yeah, so we can hear you.
Thank you. Is this all right?
Yes.
Thank you for having me today. My name is Rodolfo Garcia. I represent the house of White at 1910 Frank Street, Floresville, Mass. So I had a meeting with the neighborhood, and the neighborhood also agrees. There's just going to be more problems than solutions if turning into a business district, between safety issues, noise pollution, foot traffic that's unwanted, especially when everyone has the comfortability of straight view of where your business is already at right now. Taking them out from it would kind of detour around town, completely avoiding it, instead of going through it. Trying to get the business and probably more foot traffic that you want for downtown area. But all in all, I know we all care in the comfort of our town. When I think about making more community things, using the buildings that we already have, making the town more closer together. So that way it solves that safety issue that we all feel more comfortable about in certain areas. If we brought to health conditions, or figuring out ourselves, instead of imposing more businesses that lead to the type of thinking that leads to why we're at this meeting today. We're here to find solutions and build compromise, above all else, helping the town connect with citizens. That's all I have at the moment. Thank you very much.
Are we able to ask some questions?
No.
There is one more.
Okay.
Hello, I'm David and I live at 1903 3rd Street, directly across from Pecan Park and in front of the abandoned rail corridor, literally sandwiched right in between the two. My wife and I have 3 young children. We often walk 3rd Street to the park and walk behind our property on from what I've heard, the future part of the trail. We moved here for the history of the county and the town, the community, the safety and the green space of this area, kind of in particular. The very things of rezoning at 1901 would strip away with businesses that are at least currently allowed in that rezoning category. From what I was reading in the future land use plan, the map designates 1901 as low density residential. Under ordinance 153006 and state law, local government code 213, every rezoning must align with that plan. Converting the LDR parcel to business B flips it to commercial uses, retail parking, drive aisles, and that the plan did not envision, which would be an inconsistency that should require denial. Behind the lot lies the abandoned rail corridor, mapped as a future greenway trail corridor. The future land use plan also mandates a 50 to 100 foot open space buffer between any intense use and that corridor. By right business B zoning imposes no such buffer, so making it twice inconsistent with our current adopted plans. Ordinance 153002 directs that when 2 standards do conflict, the more restrictive applies. here that corridor overlay is the more protective than business B's and should prevail. But unlike a planned development overlay, a straight rezoning to business B cannot carry legally binding site conditions. So that you can't add approve a 50-foot setback in this context. So to guarantee the buffer, the applicant should amend the future land use plan and then seek a B&D overlay as well. Without those steps, I do believe that it would be, that is the only lawful outcome. The Parks Master Plan, though, also pledges safe ADA compliant connections to parks and high quality amenities. A commercial strip up against the Pecan Park would derail those commitments by introducing traffic noise and pavement where families currently gather. And in the park's own survey, 86% of which are homeowners, safety and pedestrian connections were the very top of everyone's list. Not one person did mention anything retail being around Pecan Park. And section 8 of that plan also is allocating funds for trailheads, playground improvements, and parkland acquisition. Investments to storefront would only overwhelm. District B's use table currently does allow gas stations, automotive repair shops, heavy truck operations right up to a property line. Those are the exact kind of intense and currently incompatible activities that we don't think should ever border a public park. If the code carved out special park frontage exclusions for business free, I do believe residents would have a lot fewer objections. But currently as written, business B does provide no guardrails against them. So I do move to find rezoning inconsistent with the future land use plan, the residential deck with the LVR designation, the Greenway Trail Corridor buffer policy in the future land use plan, and the code's most restrictive rule in ordinance 153, and to recommend denial unless the future land use plan is first amended and a plan development overlay is pursued to guarantee green open space buffer for both the park and the trail. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rachel Draper, and I live at 1902 Brick Street. I attend a lot of the council meetings, the FEDC meetings, and I hear so much talk about the need for the comprehensive plan update, the future land use update. I think this particular rezoning affects so many people, that I think we would be doing them a disservice to approve this before we figure out the direction of the city. To hold those public hearings and let residents speak to what they want to see and how they want the city to grow. There might be people who want this. There might be a lot of people who live in that area that don't want it, the residents that are over there, but I think that it just seems too soon to jump on this when we need to update those plans.
Thank you.
I'm Astrid. I live in 1903 3rd Street with my husband and our 3 little ones. Often we go across in our stroller and walk across 3rd Street to Pecan Park. This stroll is one of the reasons that we moved to Floresville for the safe human scale streets and green spaces. This brings me to my first point, preserving the small town. Floresville is not a commercial strip. It's proud of its roots and sports friendliness and defines it. Section 3 of the Parks Master Plan reminds us we're a compact, historic county seat where families stroll the parks. Festivals draw visitors due to our charm, and converting 1901 3rd into storefronts fractures that intimacy, replacing the neighborhood feel with more engines and concrete. Bringing me to another point, protecting your children's health. Traffic brings more than convenience. It brings diesel particulates, noise, and glare, and studies link vehicle exhaust to childhood asthma and developmental risk. When we push our newborn in a stroller, we prefer not through a cloud of exhaust. I feel the contradiction with our own city policies. They promise clean air and safe air for growing lungs, yet the commercial strip would be right next to the playground, bringing in more traffic than there already is, because there's a lot of 18-wheelers. And, safeguarding pedestrians. Today, parents and grandparents, employees walk the block with strollers and bikes. And there are no marked crosswalks, no sidewalks once you leave the park boundary. Rezoning 1901 Third to retail strip means added customer and delivery traffic over the same pavement, uneven pavement. People stroll, they just kind of fixed it actually, but it's still kind of like rocky over there and hard to cross and pretty dangerous. Before we even talk about stores, rural pedestrian infrastructure, striped crossings, continuous sidewalks and curb ramps, so our community can move safely day or night. Sustaining property values, inappropriate development can depress home values and increase municipal costs, more street repairs, more policing, more stormwater runoff mitigation. By contrast, well-maintained parks and pedestrian corridors boost property values up to 20% and reduce public safety calls. Preserving a residential buffer, is smart stewardship of family assets and taxpayers' dollars. Ensuring livable growth. A 1901 on Third is neither an arterial frontage nor a transition zone. It's the very edge of our children's play space. True livable growth means putting pedestrians first and layering in commerce where it genuinely belongs. Each home, each walk and picnic reminds us that this is a neighborhood and we all share it like a yard front. Rezoning 1901 Third to a strip of stores would rip the connective tissue. And I find that this application inconsistent with our park and pedestrian safety goals. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may interrupt, and do you have anything else pertaining to this certain item? Do you have a public hearing, that is for this individual property? So I would keep your comments to the public hearing itself, instead of your citizen comment,
Okay,
okay?
okay, thank you. So if you'll wait just a minute, we're gonna go into the public hearing. I'm assuming that's what you're gonna
Yeah.
bring it. So let us go into, to the public hearing. It is, running video time.
Yes.
It's 6:13 PM, Wednesday, October 1st. A request to rezone a property from residential R1 to business B at 1901 3rd Street. I'm gonna let Jacob or you, who's taking?
It'll be Jacob.
Okay, Jacob, you wanna let us know what's going on?
Yes, ma'am, this is a public hearing to request a property change from residential to business on 1901 3rd Street. They did last year or this year, tried to apply for commercial, and did get denied. So they were able to come back and do another zoning change application, and now they're wanting to go to business.
And originally it was a commercial, and now,
Right now it's residential.
but last year they went
When they
for.
tried to change it, they were trying to go commercial.
No,
Was it last
That's not-
year?
that's not
or-
correct.
It was this year?
this year it was for
It was
business
this
as
year,
well.
I think it
February.
was in April,
So-
when they came the first
6
one.
months ago.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe, wasn't this proposed to be, like a truck stop of some sort, a mini truck,
So
Yes, ma'am.
so your public hearing is just for a public hearing to receive comments from the public, sorry.
But I was trying to understand the difference between commercial and business.
Okay, so he can explain that to you.
Okay.
And I apologize, I was incorrect on that, but, you want to know the difference between business and commercial?
Yes, based on what was presented previously.
Okay, what was presented previously, it was supposed to be that, they did ask for business, not commercial, apologize. That's when it was turned to be that.
Okay, so it was business last time.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was done by the previous board denied it, correct?
No,
It was us?
No, right, yes, ma'am.
it was us and it was approved. We approved the commercial.
We approved it and went to city council.
And it went to city council and city council denied it.
Yes.
Okay, so So at this moment, if y'all don't have any other questions, we'll go into citizen comment. And, sorry, you could come back up.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Good evening. Thank you for taking the time for the citizens that came out in regards to the rezoning. My name is Luis Guerra. I live at 1906 3rd Street. I have 3 little ones as well. And I'm here today because I don't think the rezoning and changing this would be a benefit for the community. We already have multiple gas stations right on the street. Also with that, increasing traffic, we already have a lot of time trucks going through the area. And not only that, I believe that I guess to make it simple, nothing necessarily good would come out of an extra gas station. A lot of the comments here are going to be affected by that.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna interrupt because I wanna clarify something, that this is not designated to be a gas station. Okay? According to the application, it's for business,
Business.
not commercial.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Good evening, Fred Onisworth. I represent the owners of the property there at 1901 3rd Street. We're trying to get that classified over to business. The deal that was here before, back 6 months ago, that deal is not even in the area, it's not being done, that's not in the contract, that's gone. The owners are trying to sell the property. They've had inquiries from people, but they won't touch it unless we go to business. So we're coming, trying to be proactive. Trying to protect the park, protect people who go to the park, just let me point out a few things. That area is trying to get developed. Floresville's growing, it's gonna get developed. It's a major artery into the town. If you look at what's next to the park, you've got a dilapidated old building, that's a hazard. And no one's gonna develop that property if they don't see other development around there. It's been there, they built a building right next to it. You have businesses all around it. There's still R1s, we have a flower shop, we've got Charlotte Electric, well, been on before on the zoning, I don't know, but they're all businesses there. So I think if someone comes in and does something with that corner and makes that a nice piece of property and does something with it, it'll only enhance the ability to maybe do something with the old house. Because that's, if you have little kids and you have an abandoned building, put 2 and 2 together, you might have. So we just want to zone it to business and we hope you can help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, there's nothing else?
Am I allowed to speak?
Yes.
Sorry, I stepped out, she said I should mention something. So this did get brought up at last city council, and it also kind of relates to the gas station near the school. Anything within Zone B's current zoning ordinance could be built there, even if it said something now, it could, once it's passed for that zoning, it could change to whatever's under that umbrella. And I was told I should mention that does include a gas station. I would also say none of us are actually opposed to business. My wife and I have been small business owners ourselves. We stepped away for our kids, which is just too much, but whatever. Since there is business around there, being zone residential has not stopped business from being there. It's just more of our concern of that zoning type change that would allow certain businesses to be there that we don't want. Not that we're opposed to business, just what that zone currently allows. That's why I said in my speech, I know a lot of us would be less concerned if the zoning ordinance changed. So if Zone B maybe stayed the same but had certain restrictions near like schools and parks, because I'd have the same concern near a school. That's, to my knowledge, what happened with that gas station at the school is it's approved for a rezone under the context it would be this business, and then it got changed after the fact and nobody could stop it because it's approved for that zone. That was brought up at the last city council meeting. I'm not privy to the fine details, but I know that was part of the concern.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
In regards to the old hospital, that's what we've also wondered, because our house backs up to that space. And so so it is kind of personal too. But we're wondering why not use the strip area that is empty if you're gonna make a strip mall, there's already something built. I don't understand how building something would bring traffic in that's not already there. It's just an empty space that's not being used, so that's how we that live over there, see the space.
Thank you. At this moment, we will, do B, a request to rezone, oh, sorry, we have to finish with this, or do I?
You can move on to yours.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to table that one. B.
You're not going to, well, you still have to hold your public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I need to get out of this one, don't I, or
No, you can
Okay,
continue.
just stay on.
Mhm.
Okay, B, a request to rezone a property from residential R1 to commercial C at 10 Business Loop 181 North. At this moment, if there's any citizen comment regarding this item, please step forward.
Well, I believe it's, everything just said down for the school district, so. I believe it's just a repeat of everything just said for the same business aspect.
Okay, this is a different address, you know that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, I can, I'll go ahead and contradict and, Turner Lane connects Highway 181 and Business Loop 181. Half the property is already zoned commercial, the other half was annexed in the city in 2019. We feel that we weren't provided the proper notice, and so we weren't able to accept the new commercial zoning, and so this is where we're at. The future for Turner Lane is to eventually make it a major corridor to connect Business Loop 181 and Highway 181 because there's only a few of those left in the city. You have one by Walmart and one by that car wash. It's to help kind of relieve traffic in a way for residents wanting to get downtown. As property owners, it's in our best interest to do what's better for the community because Turner Lane has a medical clinic, 2 office buildings, and a gym already there, so we're not gonna put a truck stop or something that's gonna defeat the purpose of enhancing the community. That's pretty much it. I'm here to help everybody out. Thank you. I don't think y'all can even vote on it because one of them's gonna.
Thanks, are you supposed to say who you are?
Oh, I am Ben Lambert.
We do not, for item B, but we're not there, we've got to come out of the public hearing, so it is 6:23. Wednesday, October 1st, so we're out of the public hearing, we'll move on to number 2, old business. A, consideration and action to approve meeting minutes for the September 3rd, 2025 meeting. Okay, I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. 3, new business. A, consideration and action on a request to rezone a 3.373 acre tract of land located at 1901 3rd Street, rezoning from R1 residential to B business. I will call again for citizen comment. If there is.
So, I'm listening carefully to everyone on the neighborhood side and on the seller side. And I think it's important that we all remember that this is simply asking to change the zoning designation of the property. There's, from what I understand, listening to Fred, there's no immediate plans for a particular business to be there at this point. So, keeping that in mind, I make a motion to approve this item.
I have a motion.
I feel after hearing the citizens, I would
side with the citizens of the concerns that they brought, of what could be without knowing it's going up for sale and somebody could come in and use that business classification for something that may not better their neighborhood. I have a hard time approving based on what I heard today.
So I have something to say, if that's okay. You know, this family is not trying to develop this, piece of property in any other way than what's going to happen in Floresville and surrounding Floresville. They've not put in any request to do anything other than open their property up to a positive development of some sort for the city, especially leading into downtown. I've looked at it for a long time myself, and it's a good corner. Regardless of who buys it, they still have to pull permits and follow ordinances. So, you know, it can't stay at R1, which is what I believe it is right now for the rest of eternity. You know, development is gonna happen, and Floresville is installing ordinances and zoning restrictions and doing all sorts of things for the betterment of the surrounding area of Floresville and the downtown area. So, I'm not quite sure where to go. I know that we have a motion. I don't know if I called for a motion. Can I second the motion, or does it stays, right? So, what do I do?
Your motion fails, and there's
Yeah.
no action on the item.
There's no action on the item because, we have one. Okay. So now moving to the consideration and action on a request to rezone a 5.01 acre tract of land located at 10 Business Loop 181 North from R1 residential to C commercial. I am affiliated with this property, so I have to recuse myself, and for that reason, we cannot vote on it.
There'll be no action.
There'll be no action. So with that, we will adjourn.
Are you just gonna turn your thing?
This is 6:28.
Your son is so cute, I wanted to give him a little, can you have that? These are real tiny, so. Never.
23rd is the next, and it says here in child life, stop the life. Losing the video. There's an X in the corner, but I'm wondering if I move the X. And then there's a link, there's a arrow that says I can share the link or just okay. Okay. Okay, thanks.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, I know, but it didn't come to PNC, that's the thing. No matter what, it didn't come to. No matter what, and that's the thing. We'll just we will. So they go by the recommendation. Even if it was not, it still goes to the city council.